What's up, guys? Welcome back to Don't Inhale. It's Jay, and today we're talking about the Open Eagle Montecristo. So, I don't really know where to start with the cigar. Let's just start with the origin of the cigar originally. So, the cigar originally was introduced in 2009 at the Montecristo Cup Open. Not the Open Eagle, but the entire Open Series was introduced during that tournament. So the whole purpose of the Open Series in general was to introduce a more younger, sporty cigar to a new demographic. And what they thought they needed to do was add a couple extra bands and make it more shiny. But honestly, the total difference between the Open Series and the traditional Montecristo, to me personally, is I feel like the Open Series is more of a budget / lesser line of the original Montecristo. Still a fairly pretty good cigar, but it definitely does not compare to the original Montecristo line. So the whole purpose of the Open Series is for you to have a cigar you could enjoy during times of golfing or outside leisure. The draw, to me personally, is a decent amount looser compared to the original Montecristo and compared to a lot of Cubans, which makes sense since the whole idea of the cigar is for you to smoke it outside, so it makes the draw easier while you're truly not having to pay attention to the flavors of the smoke, really, and it'll just keep burning without too much attention. So if we get into detail about the cigar more, obviously, like every other Cuban in the world, it's rolled by the Cuban government. It's also wrapper, binder, filler, all Cuban, of course. Long filler. And on this cigar, I think I had about 1.5 to 2 years of age on it. Smoking time about an hour 15. But I did have a couple issues with the cigar. Not from the cigar itself, but from my dumbass. I dropped the cigar about 3 times. Yep. I'm that guy on this channel. I constantly drop the cigars. That's me. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, so what I did get from the cigar, I felt was about 75 to 80% of what the cigar really could be, since there were a couple cracks, as you guys will see probably through the B-roll. Would I try it again? Yes, I would definitely give it another chance, but on the terms of the pricing for Cuban cigars nowadays, would it be something that I would personally be going out my way to look for? Yes and no, because it is a larger Cuban cigar compared to most Cubans nowadays, so you do get a decent amount of value for how much you pay. But if you pay an extra $5, $10, you could just get a real Montecristo. So there's that as well. Yeah, so the size of the cigar is about a Toro. The initial texture or the look of the wrapper of the cigar was kind of rough, really veiny, and there was definitely some spots of imperfections or sunspots, as you could say. Definitely a part of the great Cuban quality, as everybody talks about. So be on the lookout for that. The initial or the cold draw of the cigar, it was just nothing too special to me. Maybe a little floral, very just straight tobacco, to be honest, and some hay. Nothing crazy. And then the initial first third, I got a decent amount of spice, which kind of shocked me because usually with Cubans, I don't get any spice whatsoever. But I did get a slight spice to medium spice on the initial light and throughout the whole first third, especially on my tongue. And then I just thought the cigar was very mild for the whole first third. Almost tastes of nothing and just spice, really. And then for the second third, the spice definitely picked up to me. And I started to get a taste of more hay and wheat as well. And the very slightest hint of floral, but barely any. The spice was definitely the main thing that I could taste on the whole flavor profile from the first to second third. And then at the very end of the second third, it started to form into this nutty, bitter, almost coffee-like taste, which I started to really enjoy. So it definitely got a lot better after the second third. And I feel partially it was my fault because of the beginning of the first third, and halfway through that, there was a slight crack in that area. So I feel like that definitely had to play into how the tobacco was pooling. But at the end of all of that, at the end of the second third, there was the coffee bitterness and the slight floral, which were the main things for me. At the very final third, I got almost barely any spice left, which was really good because I'm not a very big fan of any cigars that have spice in it. The floral went down. I felt like the bitterness started to shoot right back up again. There was more of a coffee bitterness and slight cocoa. Wouldn't necessarily say cocoa, but almost like the coffee ground bitterness and the flavor of that. The smoke got really thick and creamy, which I do like on cigars. And at the very end, it was just a little more Cuban twang, a really traditional Cuban flavor, but then the cigar kind of gave up on me because of all the cracks in it. But I can't really blame it for that. Would I smoke the cigar again? Like I said before, yes, I would. I'd probably pick up one or two more, age it again, and see how it goes from there. Smoke one that hasn't been dropped so many times. And out of a score rating, it's hard to grade for appearance and everything like that because I did drop it so many times. But there was a lot of different things with the cigar that I felt like were overlooked for the quality control, especially the veins, the sun splotching, just certain things with the cigar that shouldn't get by for quality control when a cigar is at this price point. Overall, for my current experience with the cigar, I would rate it about a 6, a low 6, and that's partially because of my own problems that, as I keep saying, with the cigar. So I would definitely give it another try, and hopefully it's better from there. And yeah, and this concludes the episode of Don't Hit. Oh shit. And yeah, this includes an episode of Don't Inhale. Appreciate it, guys.